Hello lovelies, you're welcome to yet another interesting video. In this video, you'll learn the first part of graph, and that is Cartesian plane and coordinates. Let's dive in. Your graph contains major grid lines and minor grid lines. The vertical line drawn across the major grid line is called the y-axis, while the horizontal line drawn across the major grid line is called the x-axis. The point where the y-axis and the x-axis intersect is called the origin. Note, the point where the y-axis and the x-axis intersect is called the origin. So we usually represent this numerically with 0. The x-axis is divided into the positive x-axis and the negative x-axis. What this means is that all the numbers in the positive x-axis will be positive, and all the numbers on the negative x-axis will be negative, like you have here. Similarly, the y-axis is also divided into the positive y-axis and the negative y-axis. That means that all the numbers you have on the positive y-axis will be positive, and all the numbers you have on the negative y-axis will be negative. I hope you got this. The x-axis and the y-axis divides your graph into 4 quadrants. And they are the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. You'll see how this plays out as we take some examples. What is the quadrant of C12? The coordinate C12 represents a point where x is 1 and y is 2. This is the trace on the graph. So x is 1 and y is 2. They meet at this point and we have marked it with red plus. From this, can you tell what quadrant the coordinate C12 belongs? Of course, it belongs to the first quadrant. Yes, the coordinate C12 is on the first quadrant. Take a look at another example. What quadrant is D minus 2 minus 2? Can you tell? This is pretty simple to tell. Remember that the first value in the coordinate represents x and the second value in the coordinate represents y. So D minus 2 is a point on the graph where x is minus 2 and y is minus 2. We can trace this on our graph sheet and it will give us this point. So you notice that x is minus 2 and y is minus 2. Can you tell what quadrant this is? Of course, it is the third quadrant. So D minus 2 belongs to the third quadrant. I hope you got this. So you see that any coordinate in which the first value, which is x, is plus and the second value, which is y, is plus, belongs to the first quadrant. Any point where the first value is minus and the second value is plus belongs to the second quadrant. Any point on the graph whose x value is minus and the y value is also minus belongs to the third quadrant. And lastly, any point whose x value is positive and the y value is negative belongs to the fourth quadrant. I want you to look at this again and internalize it. Now, here is a little something for you to think about. What quadrant does e plus 3 minus 2 belong to? Can you tell me that? Remember, if your x value is positive and your y value is negative, it belongs to the fourth quadrant. So the coordinate plus 3 minus 2 belongs to the fourth quadrant. I hope this is pretty simple. Next, let's go ahead to learn how to plot the points of a coordinate on a graph sheet. Take a look at this. Plot the following on a graph. A minus 1 minus 2, B has the points 0, 0, and C has the points 1, 2. We could put this in a table. Notice that the first value is the x-axis and the second is the y-axis. So the coordinate A has the x value minus 1 and y value minus 2. Similarly, B has the x value 0 and y value as 0. And C has the x value as 1 and the y value as 2. What this means is that when x is minus 1, y is minus 2. This is the A coordinate. When x is 0, y will be 0. And this is the B coordinate. And when x is 1, y is 2. This is the C coordinate. Let's go ahead and plot this on a graph sheet. So for the coordinates A, when x is minus 1, y is minus 2. This is the point right here. Now when x is 0, y is 0, and here is the plot. Similarly, when x is 1, y is 2, and this will be the plot. Take a look at this again. We can draw a straight line across these points and it will form a straight line graph. If you do that, this is how it will look like. Cool, right? Now let's test how well you have understood this. Go ahead and plot these points on a graph and draw a straight line across the points. In addition to this, I want you also to answer the evaluation questions beneath this video. We have come to the end of this lesson. Until next time, bye.